Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the brand new event. So there is a brand new event in DBZ Dokkan Battle. It only consists of 2 stages currently at this point in time. But it is pretty interesting and it's kind of in between, or I guess it's kind of in between I want to say the Gods of Destruction event and the Red Zone. It's not as difficult as maybe Gods of Destruction. It does start out pretty tough. It can be a pretty difficult event. I think it can definitely be quite misleading. A lot of players will probably enter into it thinking it's going to be quite easy, or they'll enter in thinking it's going to be just like Red Zone or the Cell Max event. It's not quite either of those. It's a little bit, kind of in between. So this is the fighting spirit of the Saiyans and Pride of the Wicked Bloodlines. We're doing the first stage, which is obviously against Cooler or Cooler attacks. Generally speaking, it's a pretty simple event. So there's one mission, and that mission is to use a unit that's named Super Saiyan Goku. There are advantageous units, that are summonable or free to play. It's not really that big a deal. I'm not using any of them in my run here, and we do perfectly fine. So I don't know how big a deal those units are, but yeah, it is a thing. So in this first phase, you're going to be facing 3 enemies. Those enemies are immune to stunning and sealing. And obviously, they're Thouser and the gang. I highly suggest that you just focus on getting either one out at a time. And basically, you essentially eliminate the threats to your team. So that you can obviously have a pretty decent time against them. Generally speaking, they're not too hard. They go down quite easy, although they can hit pretty decently hard in return. I mean, if you look here, Bowser's gonna hit us for 169k, so it's a decent amount. He's hitting at about 300k, which isn't huge, but it isn't a small amount. That's why I say it's kind of like a mix between the Gods of Destruction event and the Red Zone, because it does get pretty tasty later on. I think Cooler hits for around 1 million or so. At least it seems to me that Cooler hits for around 1 million or so. I think for the most part having 2 items makes it quite a comfortable event. So you don't have one item like Cell Max or like Red Zone. I think having 2 items makes it a fun event. It will challenge a lot of new players. But veterans shouldn't really have a huge issue. If you have a team that can take out Red Zone, if you use that team, then you can probably take out this event pretty easily. Obviously, we've gone with a Goku's family team. Generally speaking, I just thought it'd be great to kind of suit the theme. At least a little bit, and obviously we're using a Goku's family team. We have a couple Super Saiyan Gokus on the team. Obviously a lot of people will probably be using their brand new tech Super Saiyan Goku, who is very impressive and a very, very strong, very good unit. There are some great additional options that you can provide. So in terms of the team, obviously we can use the Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan Gohan unit. They're a super great lead for Goku's family. You've also got the SS4 Goku as well, who's a good lead for the Goku family's team. And then you also have the Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Gohan Youth Tech LR unit. That is also a very strong unit for the Super Saiyan or the Goku's family team. So you've got plenty of fantastic options that you can run for this event. So you don't need to panic too much. You've got a lot of decent options that you can use. And generally speaking, you have a pretty solid time in terms of the event itself. So yeah, pretty solid stuff, I would say. The team runs very smoothly, and there's not too much to be concerned about. The phases don't seem to be necessarily too tanky, so Kula doesn't seem to be necessarily super tanky as a unit, at least in the second phase. We do have a lot of AGL damage, obviously, which does play into that. He will debuff you on his super attack, so just be wary of that. If there is anything that you do need to be aware of. But yeah, in terms of usable Super Saiyan Goku options, there are plenty. You've got more than enough options. You've got Nameku, you've got the Tech Super Saiyan Goku LR, you've got the AGL Super Saiyan Goku LR, you've got the Super Saiyan Goku Strength Exchange Gohan card. You've got plenty of decent Super Saiyan Goku options. So yeah, that's really the only mission. So you shouldn't really have like a huge issue with it. Yeah, from my perspective. Obviously, we're now facing Kula. Kula is obviously a kind of a bit of a challenge at this point. Being AGL, we do have to be very wary of our Gohan Goku exchange unit. But generally speaking, we do okay. The Tech Super Saiyan God Goku is obviously a great unit to use here because of the fact that he's going to nullify pretty much all of Kula's damage, which is something that's obviously super duper helpful and really quite useful. Namek Goku also will keep stacking, which is obviously a fantastic ability, and he'll be pretty decent defensively. And then we also have the Strength Goku Gohan, a very strong unit that's useful as well. So yeah, obviously we have a pretty decent lineup. Goku's family is a pretty strong in-game kind of challenge team. And Kula, he hits decently hard. We have a Whis active here, 240k defense, so we should be taking single digits. But Kula can hit pretty decently hard. He is a unit that I think he hits 1 million in terms of his super attack. So he is quite a challenge. And for most players, probably will be a little bit maybe too much to handle if you don't take him seriously. You can prioritize damage, which is something nice. He's not super duper tanky. You can see like with our damage that we're doing here, we are managing to keep things relatively stable. But he is hitting units pretty hard. Goku had a decent chunk of damage reduction there. Only 100k defense, but he had a decent chunk of damage reduction there. And he took quite a sizable chunk of damage. So Kula can hit quite hard. But if you build your team with 2 items, you shouldn't really have like a major issue. Obviously, if people are looking for a super easy way to take on the event, use the effective characters. Obviously, the new Super Saiyan Goku is going to be very, very good for this event. Super Saiyan God Goku is going to be very, very good for this event. And just try and utilize, obviously, those units as best as you can. With that being said, you shouldn't have any major issues, I want to say. Generally speaking, you can do a lot of damage, and by doing that damage, you should stay safe. Kula doesn't have many gimmicks beyond the fact that he has a very hard-hitting super attack, so you shouldn't have like a massive headache trying to get around him. He just brings some kind of evasion. He doesn't lock evasion, bring damage reduction, and you should be fine. But that is pretty much it when it comes to this brand new event. So obviously it looks pretty fun, the fighting spirit of the Saiyan and Pride of the Wicked Bloodline. Personally speaking, I guess it was needed to make a new event. I think they could have added it to Epic Collection of Battles, but hey, it is what it is. And there's a mission to obviously use Super Saiyan Goku, which we did achieve, but you should be able to get easily. But it's some decent guys and some decent rewards. So yeah, that is pretty much it. So obviously, thanks for watching the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.